How quickly we forget the God who lives in every day. How easy to lose sight that you reside in the mundane. How quickly we forget the power that's running through our veins, the kind of power that empties graves. And oh my soul, remember who you're talking to, the only one who death bows to. That's the God who walks with you. And oh my soul, you know that if he did it then, he can do it all again. His power can still raise the dead. Don't tell me that he's finished yet. Lest we not forget the voice that's holding back the waves, was once the voice that told the skies to pour them into place. Let us join the endless song of everlasting praise, the only God who empties graves. And oh my soul, remember who you're talking to, the only one who death bows to. That's the God who walks with you. And oh my soul, you know that if he did it then, he can do it all again. His power can still raise the dead. Don't tell me that he's finished yet. If you broke through the oceans, you can break through these chains. If your word made the mountains, it can move them all the same. If death fell before you and it's still on its face, then the power that raised you is about to move again. If you broke through the oceans, you can break through these chains. If your word made the mountains, it can move them all the same. If death fell before you and it's still on its face, then the power that raised you is about to move again. Is about to move again. And oh my soul, remember who you're talking to, the only one who death bows to. That's the God who walks with you. And oh my soul, you know that if he did it then, he can do it all again. His power can still raise the dead. Don't tell me that he's finished yet.
Good morning, Springs of Grace. I hope you each have had a wonderful weekend. Michelle and I were so blessed to be back around the church body this past Sunday. The weather was perfect. Pastor Joe's preaching from John 13 was a blessing to Michelle and I. It's clear that the Lord has meant us to be close and to be in relationship, as these past 2 to 3 months have just been tough being separated from the body. I know there are many variables that come into play for each of us as we try to make the best decision as to when's the right time for our family to reconnect with the church body. So we'll stay continued in prayer as for you as to when's the right time for you to come back around. But we look forward to that day. For today's devotional, I just want to take a few minutes and reflect on the sermon topic that Pastor Joe preached on a couple of weeks ago. As a volunteer NOAA high school football coach, every off season I begin to ask the Lord to lead me to a scripture that we could rally our team around for the upcoming season. This season will be my 30th year of coaching ball, and until the Lord directs me differently, it'll probably be my last, as my youngest son, Christian, will be also wrapping up his senior year. I'm sure you'd all agree, without a doubt, it has been one of the craziest spring seasons we have ever known, with no shortage of issues to rally around, to pray about, and to keep in front of our eyes. All of which these issues have been very important and meaningful. As I've prayed and pondered and sought the Lord's desire, there has been one issue or one theme that the Lord has kept bringing back to me to leave the boys with this season. And undoubtedly, there's probably no more important of a theme than simply love. So a month ago or so, I settled on love, but I've struggled as to how to best put into a football applicable term or a phrase that the team could rally around and could build upon from a day-to-day basis as we share words of the day with our team, and as the season carries on over the next 4 months of 2020. As I struggled for the right wording or the right verbiage, I rested in the fact that the Lord always comes through right on time, right on his time. And once again, he did. As Pastor Joe began to preach a couple of weeks ago on how Jesus so loved us, he used an analogy of how a quarterback on a football team from time to time is thrust into the position of having to stand in the pocket, wait for his receiver to come open, and then release his pass, just as a huge defensive lineman delivers a punishing blow that drives him to the ground. Then Pastor Joe summed this up by stating that the quarterback chose to take the hit. The moment he said it, I thank the Lord for giving me that phrase that I was looking for. So this season, I'm excited to introduce our boys to the statement, I will take the hit, based on the scripture in John 13, verse 1, which reads in the ESV, Now, before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart out of this world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. See, that quarterback, at the instant when he sees his receiver coming open, and he sees the defensive lineman barreling towards him, he is thrust into that choice to open up his wingspan and become completely vulnerable, to take the hit, so that his team at least has the chance, has the opportunity, has the hope of victory. Now, if you've watched any football at all, you've probably seen the slow motion images on TV of exactly that scenario. The quarterback releasing the ball while taking the hit as the camera tracks the ball spinning in slow motion down the field, lace over lace, into the diving grasp of the receiver as he lands in the end zone, as time expires and the team achieves victory. Many times the quarterback is still on the ground, covered in sweat, blood, possibly even broken bones, never having even seen the catch of the ball that he threw. In this football analogy, he loved his team to the end, choosing to say within his own heart, I will take the hit. Springs of Grace, I've been encouraged for over a decade now. My whole family has been encouraged, many times to tears, as I've seen you unselfishly and God strengthened choose to take the hit. For many of you, it's simply who God has transformed you into, having given you a new heart with the Spirit of the Lord in it. In the current times we're living in, there are endless opportunities for us to reflect and to ask the Lord through his strength to allow us to love as he loves and to take the hit. Whether it be in being more patient and kind to our spouse and our kids, or the need to apologize for a nagging wrong that we've done to another, or to serve even more in a capacity that costs us time and money that could be used in a more self-serving manner, or to put ourselves in a more uncomfortable position to support those who are weeping as we navigate through these tough times. I'm convinced and challenged by John's words. In closing, I just want to encourage you, as well as encourage myself and my family, to start at least today by asking the Lord to provide an opportunity to love others and commit to Him that I will take the hit. God bless you, Springs of Grace, and have a fantastic day. It's time. Take the hit.